So the homemade tooth powder, it's beneficial to your mouth, it's gentle on the environment, it is inexpensive to make, and we'll have to talk about that for a little bit because there is a tiny investment in it, and it's toxin free. So super excited to be doing this today. So out of me and my recipes going forward. You know, and then the other piece is I like to, you know, I really want things that work with my body and not against my body. So obviously toxins are going to work against our bodies. I have Hashimoto's thyroiditis, which is an autoimmune disease. And hey, Carrie, a couple more people joining. And when you have autoimmune disease, it's really important to keep the toxins out. So that's why I do a lot of these things. Also because making your own things is inexpensive, but keeping the toxins out is really, really important to me. We want to really lower that burden on our bodies. One ingredient that does just that I am super excited about. Okay, this is my favorite ingredient in this tooth powder recipe. It's bentonite clay. Now I'm not going to show you the label for this. I'll tell you why in a sec. But here is the actual bentonite clay powder. And I'm going solo today, you guys, so I don't have a cameraman. It's all on my tripod. So hopefully you guys can see that. So it's a really light, fluffy powder. But bentonite clay is awesome. So if you haven't used it before, on my blog post, which I did link up in the description, you can find lots and lots. I have a link there for lots of uses. Other uses have where you can use it in your home and bath products, and then also a ton more benefits. But what I love about it is it sucks up toxins. It sucks up your heavy metals and your toxins. So it's going to get some of that bad stuff out. So totally beneficial for your mouth as well. The other piece is it contains a bunch of minerals that are excellent for healthy, strong teeth. It has calcium, magnesium, and silica. Definitely need those for your healthy teeth. My next, and here's why I'm not going to talk about it. Okay, so a little scoop. I purchased this, I don't know, a while back. On the label, it says not to be used for internal uses. I don't know. I'm not, certainly that's why I'm not going to show you the label. I don't want you guys to buy it. I happen to have it. I feel okay using it in my personal product, but what I recommend, and you'll see it on my blog post, you want to find food grade bentonite clay because we are ingesting these things. So food grade, really important. All right. The next piece is my other favorite ingredient is the activated charcoal. So here's some activated charcoal here. So it's a black powder. Seems totally crazy to put this in your mouth, right? How are you going to get clean teeth with a black powder? It works, I'm telling you. The best part of this is that it's actually a natural whitener and stain remover. So if you're a person that has coffee stains on your teeth, you guys, this is the key ingredient. I have noticed, so I've been using natural tooth powder for, it's been about a year. It hasn't always been mine. I did purchase one for a short bit of time, but in my blog post I talk about it. It was crazy expensive and didn't even last a month. But long story short, I've been using this for about a year and I have noticed with my teeth that they are getting whiter. So 3 cheers to that for whitening teeth. So that's activated charcoal. Now, the next ingredient is Himalayan salt. So Himalayan salt, you can also use unrefined sea salt, but you want a really pure salt. I like Himalayan salt because it has a ton of minerals. It has, I think, approximately 84 trace minerals that you can actually absorb in your body. So this is another mineral powerhouse. Hey, Sanita, thanks for joining. Some new viewers. So I'm just talking about ingredients right now. So Himalayan sea salt, it's also, it acts in this tooth powder as a gentle abrasive, and it's got the minerals, so we're good there. The next ingredient I want to talk about, this is what you guys are probably already going to have in your spice rack as well. We've got some clove and some cinnamon. I do use organic here. Again, these are going in our mouths and in our body. And the whole point of why I make this tooth powder, at least one of the primary reasons, is to reduce my toxic load. So organic is really important as well. Cinnamon and clove are used in this recipe as antimicrobials. And what that means is that they basically destroy the bugs in your mouth that can cause tooth decay. So those are really, really important. Another fun ingredient, transparent. Okay, soapbox, oil, done. Okay, so now that we have our ingredients, did I miss anything? I think we're good. We're gonna do a little demo. And this is gonna take really quick, you guys. So if you have questions, please, please, please be sure to ask. Where's my jars? Okay, here we go. So I've got some different jars here. We've got our ingredients. Here's my favorite jar for the tooth powder. I have 3 different sizes I'm gonna show you, but this is my favorite. I have some pre-made tooth powder in it right now, as you can see. So it's kind of like a gray, really fine powder consistency. This is an 8-ounce jar. It's a mason jar. It's actually the Kerr, I think I'm saying it correctly, Kerr. And as you'll see, one recipe fills half of this 8-ounce jar. So I typically double my batch because, well, everybody except for my son, he's really picky, uses this. And I think I have some other tricks to get him to use it too. So I like the big jar because I can double batch it, and this lasts for months, several months. I also have other jars that I put around. So this is the jar that my daughter has in her toothpaste. This is just a little jelly jar. So one of the little mason jelly jars, and this is just a 4-ounce size. She has that in her bathroom. And I kind of use the big jar and refill it with the little jars. We even use one in our spare, kind of our downstairs main bathroom. And that's this cute little, it's a 2-ounce cosmetic jar. And, I like it down here because sometimes if the kids forget to brush their teeth upstairs, then I've got some tooth powder in the bathroom here and we're good to go. So those are the jars that I use. I do have links again, because this one is my favorite. I love this. It's a wide mouth so that you can clean it really easily. I pop in the dishwasher. It's glass. It's not going to absorb toxins, or it's not going to leach toxins into the product, which I think is really important. And this is my favorite glass. So I've got some ingredients out. So a couple tips. So when we use bentonite clay, one thing you're going to see here, I have all plastic and glass. When you use bentonite clay, you don't want to use stainless steel. Stainless steel actually deactivates the healing properties of this clay. So I got like a little wooden spoon, use a wooden spoon to do this. If you're measuring, ideally, you want to use a plastic measuring spoon as well. I think the first time, I think this batch that I did yesterday, I completely forgot to use my metal spoon. That's okay to measure it if it happens. Not a big deal. The tooth powder is totally safe. You can still use it. So I've got my activated charcoal in here already. I've got some of the bentonite clay. Love these two. And I just kind of put it in here in the bowl. We've got ground cloves, cinnamon that we would add in here. And then, what was I going to talk about? There was one more. So we've got the cinnamon. We're going to put some salt in. This recipe, it just calls for 1.5 teaspoons of Himalayan salt. And so I'm going to add that here real quick. And you guys, I am not exact with my measurements. See, I'm not even going to change spoons. I'm just going to eye it. And that's totally fine. As long as you get the basics in this recipe, you're going to be okay. A lot of this is also, you can adjust it to taste. Your key ingredients are certainly going to be your 2 clays, your salt. I mean, they're all key ingredients, but you can certainly adjust for taste preference. If you love cinnamon flavor, add a little bit more cinnamon. Some people are actually reactive to cinnamon. You can leave it out completely. That's okay. The clove is very beneficial. It's still going to be antimicrobial, so you can do that too. Certainly, if you can do both, even better. But if you need to adjust, absolutely fine. So I added the salt. The ground cloves we're going to toss in here. This just calls for 1/2 teaspoon. I guess I'll measure this one if I have to. So 1/2 teaspoon of ground cloves. Clove is a pretty strong flavor. I actually love it in this recipe. When I first saw this recipe, I wasn't so sure if I was going to love clove, cinnamon, and peppermint. For some reason, to me, that seems like a really strange combination, but I love it. It's awesome. For cinnamon, it's 1 teaspoon. And you guys, this complete recipe, you can find it on my blog post listed above. So I'm just gonna kind of whip through here to just show you the general idea, because again, this is so simple. My 5-year-old could make this in 5 minutes or less. So you've got all these fun powders. It makes a really nice color. And put it in here. Okay, so I'm gonna there we go. I like cinnamon. And then the last important ingredient is that peppermint. And the peppermint, it's gonna freshen the breath, and this is really good to give it that fresh and bright taste. You're going to, I do 10 drops of oil in here. You can do less if you don't like a strong peppermint flavor. I like the peppermint flavor, so I stick to the kind of the 10 and sometimes even up, because I think what makes this nice is kind of the bright and strong and fresh flavors. So then I'm gonna take a plastic spoon, or sorry, you can do plastic, wooden. I have a plastic whisk that I sometimes use. I'll just take my spoon for now. And I don't know if you guys can see it, but here's the powders. Super duper simple. I don't think I missed anything. And you just mix that. You have to be a little careful. It's very fine, so it's gonna fly out of the bowl a little and all over my display. But it's really simple. Sometimes if you have a larger jar, like this 8-ounce mason jar, I actually just put the ingredients directly in here, stir it up a little, and then I shake it. And that's gonna mix it for you. So it's really simple. If you wanna have fun, you can buy some of those labels and put a cute little chalk label on the top. I don't do that, I'm simple. It should be simple head to toe. Well, sometimes I'm high maintenance, but for these kind of things, I'm super simple. So we stir it up, and then I stirred it in a bowl this time because, like I said, I need to refill my other jars, so I'm gonna put a little bit in here and a little bit in the little jar as well. And that's pretty much it. That's how you make it. The way to use it, and I forgot my toothbrush, is, let's pretend this is my toothbrush. So once I have it in my jar, you just dampen your toothbrush. You don't want it sopping wet because water will kind of cause some of this clay to create little balls. But I just dampen my toothbrush, kind of shake the water off, dip it in, and brush as normal. And that's it. One word of caution, but don't let this scare you because truly, it's not a big deal. If you notice, you're using black charcoal and the mixture is kind of a dark gray. Gotta be a little cautious with if you have little kids. My 5-year-old uses this. She's been using it, I think, since she was 4. The key here is it can get a little messy. You just have to train the kids. You truly have to train them to rinse the sink bowl out, and then you're golden. As long as you rinse it out as soon as they brush their teeth, there's no mess. I promise you. It doesn't stain. Yeah, really, really simple. So that's just my word of caution there if you have kids and you're using this. And like your husband might freak out too, because after you brush your teeth and you go to spit it out in the sink and it's all kind of like grayish, blackish, it freaks them out a little. But it's like, don't worry, honey, just kind of swish the water around and it's all gone. And it looks like you never brushed your teeth. So any questions about the tooth powder? One thing that I didn't mention, if you have kids and you want to make some tooth powder, there is another ingredient that you can make here, or that you can add, and that is pure stevia. So this is a sweetener. This is, I don't know if you can see it, it's kind of crazy lighting. This is Sweet Leaf, and this is the brand of stevia powder that I use. This is an optional ingredient for particularly if you have more of a sweeter palate that you prefer, or you have kids and they're used to kind of a sweet, sweet, sweet toothpaste, you can add some stevia powder. Now, just like all ingredients, you guys, this buyer beware, okay? Caution on this when you're resourcing it, because we were just out to dinner yesterday. I picked up, it was called pure something, pure stevia, right? You would think pure stevia would be pure. Nope, it had dextrose in it. Well, my sweet little daughter is allergic to corn. Dextrose is a corn derivative. So needless to say, I was extremely frustrated, but shame on me. I should know better. Just because something says pure, as I just shared with you guys, certainly doesn't mean that it is. So you want a really nice stevia leaf. This is the one I recommend, Sweet Leaf. It has no added chemicals, no nothing, just stevia powder. And this gives a little bit of sweetness for the kiddos. And the amount that I put in here, I think it's just a teaspoon. Yeah, so it's a teaspoon. Again, do it to taste. Add a teaspoon, mix it all up, have your kids try it, say, hey, how does this taste? If they're like, eh, I don't like it, or it's not sweet enough, or ask them, is it sweet enough? Add a little bit more of the stevia powder. All right, I have a question, and I'm gonna lean in as if I'm an old person and I can't see. Okay, can you mix this with coconut oil? Natalie asks. That's a really good question, Natalie, and I'm trying to remember There's a lot of toothpaste recipes out there that do include coconut oil. I think you absolutely can. I will double check, but I know I've seen recipes that use the coconut oil. I just didn't like that because it's messy, way messier. And because I don't want to be spitting coconut oil down my sink, and I wanted it to be easy. And so for the kids, if I use coconut oil in this mixture, you know, I'd be telling the kids, you have to spit it out in a trash can. That's never gonna happen. So that's why I prefer a tooth powder recipe that's simple without the coconut oil. But certainly that is something that you can use. Coconut oil is very beneficial to your mouth. And that's something that we'll talk in some later posts because I love coconut oil for oil pulling. All right, I think I have another question. Oh, on my blog post at holisticheadtotoe.com. So for the exact recipe and instructions, please do visit my blog post. It is mentioned in the top. And last but not least, Holistic Head to Toe is also on Instagram. So if you follow me on Facebook, I would love for you guys to follow me on Instagram as well to get some more inspiration on holistic and natural remedies. And last but not least, I'm gonna ask one little favor. If you guys would please help me spread the word. I'm sure you have friends that are looking to reduce the toxins. They want to ditch the plastics. One thing I didn't talk about, but this is extremely eco-friendly because this is reusable. So we're not throwing away toothpaste, container after toothpaste. And I love that too. But if you have friends that are looking to ditch the toxins, you know, help the planet, use single ingredients that are beneficial to the body, please share this video. And then that way, if you go to buy your 12-pack of jars, you can just divvy it up with friends and you guys all share and then come over to one of your houses and